Very rare that this happens. I'm not really prepared, so I'm just going to throw out a few things. I just like to get this video done to see whether or not it's going to shut down on me. But now that I seem to have found out that I can, instead of running my camera on HD, if I run it on what you see, that's what it is, one thing slower. Listen to that. Listen to me speak. Like, I need to slow down my camera. Like, what kind of language is that? If I was talking to a guy who makes cameras and or somebody who uploads and does television on TVs, what do you mean? Well, I'm wasting your time right now. 40 seconds went by and I haven't given you any information, and even if I gave you information, how pertinent will that information be? Anyways, I now am with a new provider, Videotron. Welcome. I was with Bell before. I don't want to put anybody down, but I just happened to switch. Just let's say I'm running a little bit quicker. And I'm a little sad. At the same time, I'm glad. I've done a few things that made me happy, and it didn't take much to make me happy. So this is what I want to show you. Can you figure out what this is? See the planets, the way they're in there? The center point over here, which is not a box, it is a corner. Count that not as one, count it as none. Then there is one box. Then there's two as the space. Then there is three. Then there is 4 as the space, and then there is 5, and then there is 6 as the space, and then there is 7 and 8 as the space, and 9 and 10, etc. That goes for the planets as the numbers. So when 6, 7, 8, and 9 come together, they're on the other side of 5. Okay? These squares are turned this way. They're turned whoosh, like that. And then when they're turned, okay, number 8 and number 9 switch places. That's why the odd number 9 has only 30 days, while the first month, the third month, the fifth month, the seventh month all have 31 days. They switch places. It goes on the other angle. What is this? Is it the top of the Twin Towers? No. This is the chessboard. This is one part of the chessboard. The next one will go here. The next one will go here. The next one will go here. The planets might be here, but they're going all around the center. So we have to put multiple chessboards. Then we have to go and create one board. Here we create the board inside 9. Here it's inside 11. Okay, so when I turn it around onto this side, here's the board. Fibonacci style, Jacob's ladder. I play the board on each side, and then I bring the 4 boards together. First, I take these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 8, and I set them on the side, in between. I set them in the middle, up above, and then on the side in between. In between is Zion, Israel, the life we live, east and west. Between Mars and Earth, between Saturn and Uranus. Between what I call Pluto and inside of Mercury, inside Mercury and Neptune, and inside of Venus. This and this and this, we now revert and we go to the Monopoly board. This is go to jail. You see the ladders or the corners or the pivots, whatever you want to call them? Not a builder. I'm doing all of this out of numbers. That's all I can tell you in games people play. I wish I can tell you exactly what it is, but I can't. You see the end of the sword? The doorway, half in, half out. Split letters, split boxes, depending how the letters are made or depending how they'll fit. So when we come over here in chess, if I take just this orange section over here, 1, 2, and 3 squares, what will I get over here? I'll get the first 2 rows of the pieces in chess that are in the corner. Okay? This will be one side of the board, this will be the other side of the board. So I will catch them at the back. I will catch them at the back here, and they're all back to back. Marvin Gardens, Kentucky, New York, Tennessee, Pacific, PA, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Boardwalk, Park Place, Baltic and the Mediterranean. Both next to go. Number 1 on each of these. Boardwalk and the Mediterranean, you can't have. You got 2 dice. You can't have that over here. Over here is Oriental, Connecticut. Over here is St. Charles Place. This is down with Tennessee. Here's the corner. Here's go to jail, and you go over here. 10 this way. 10 this way. 20 all the way to this side. 20 all the way to this side. Where do you want to go? Barack Obama? B&O Rail? The Queen? Or how about Pennsylvania Rail? Pennsylvania Rail. I'm looking at which part of this one becomes Russia. If I had to put this on the map, where would Russia be? So the next thing I wanted to mention, okay, was that 65. Okay, 64, excuse me. We create 64 in the chessboard as 8 and 8. This is the way the Fibonacci works out in the design. You ever see the corner? Do you ever see the corner? This corner here? Just this line here. Okay, equals to this, the 4 or the H. So all corners revert to the seat. The seat right over here. The H letter, the small h. Okay, which looks like the 4. What am I going to go to next? I showed you this over here. We're going to go to next is a new way to look at 3 numbers. Here we have 2 numbers, okay? We want to divide everything by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But 3, right? 6 and 9. So that's 3 times 3. That means everything that's 3 times 3 will be divided by 9. Everything that's 2 times 3 will be divided by 6. And everything that's above 3 will be divided by a 3 itself. 23, we go to 169, not dividable. Leaves a remainder. I don't want any remainders. 269, 369. 1 level, 2 levels is a split level. 3 levels, it means the left side of the mind, the right side of the mind is now split up, and there's something that's interfered in between. And we can do this with all prime numbers. 47, 247, 347. It doesn't work. 347. But it does work. 3 divided by 47 equals 149. This is your birth through Pluto. It also makes up for Zion, Israel, which whatever Mercury does in the blood, okay, that's how the interference is, that's how the distortion is, that's how they're able to either help us to give us life in the spirit world or the soul world, as good or as bad, irrelevant. It just has to mean something. That's it. The next part I wanted to mention is Happy Valentine. 16 and 16, 2 smiley faces. Give me the light, 44. 44, 44, 88. Give me the tunes. Give me the right tunes of the piano. Happy equals man. 52 is man. At the same time, SIX equals number 52, equals to 50. Let me, SIX, 19 and 9 is 28. 28 and 24 is 52. 6, man, heart, and 167. 167 divided by 3 gives you 89. The heaven of birth. Inside of 2 worlds of 6 and 7. Now what is 6 and 7? Well, 6 and 1 brings in the light. 6 and 1 is the only 7 that is reality. There is no other reality other than this 6 and this 1. It does not interfere with anything. The rest of them do. 4 sides of 5 equaling 20. 2 sides of 7 equal 2014, plus the cube itself, 2015, because it has to sit in its own place. So what do we get? If 1 and 6 is 6, and 1 is separate to 7, it gives it the soul. The number to the soul is this. This is your soul light or your half light. Happy or R9, because H8 come together is the 18th letter. The A only becomes in existence when the H is around at the heaven's gate. When does that happen? When you play the piano, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But G, H are a link the first time they meet, because it is the first time G is in it, and then is the second time A is in it. So you have to go to 3 times. Okay, so on the second level, when G in the piano as the 14th key meets A as the 15th key, then the egg is born. Then on the next 8, which is the 8 ball, is number 23, and that is creation of the split world. Okay, the 6 and 7, 5 and 2, 1 and 6, 7, 7, 7 to the 9 birth. H and 8 is the 18th letter. 1 and 8 is 9R. The world is 666. Okay, the spirit is 91. You get a 6 with it because a T is inside of it. Okay, when the T is inside of it, you get the 6. When the SP are together, the 19th and 16th letter, 19th and 16th letter, right inside the word, it tells itself. IRI is 999. This over here will be equal to 8 as this over here. It is a connection between the two. That's all it says. Happy is 66. Valentine is 102. The total is 168. 168 hours in the week. 91, the 8 heaven of 91. 91 times 4 is 364, 13 moons by 28, 364 with 30 hours left over. Day equals 30. 102 and 19 is 121. 11 times 11, Valentine's. 11 times 11, 102. 66 for the books of Moses, make it happy. Valley, to wash. Veil, or to unveil. Tiny Tim, tiny is small. It also says fine silver, or 5. It just says that. I don't know why. I can't tell you everything the way it works. 102 gets 108 and gets 168 again. We've gotten it twice. Why do we get it? Because all zeros get 6. But this is also noted as 5. You see, if it's a 0 in the center, we'll give it 5. Okay, I'm going to change this up just a little bit. Why? Because there's 3 numbers. If this was the center row, I have to understand which row it was, because if it's the top row, it could get a 7. If it's the center row, it'll get a 5. If it's the third row, it can get an 8. But the 8 and 7 must go over each other. 8 and 7 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 8 and 7 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. And therefore 0 gets 6 again. Why? Because the 7 card is an expression of what the 8 card is all about. Because the 8 card is just 2 7s, 1 up and 1 down. That's all it is. But you're walking in it. You're walking in the 8 of the 7th gate. You are the expression of the heaven, because without your head, there is no heaven. This makes the heaven. Take it away. There's nothing. There's no heart to go anywhere on Valentine's. No one's happy. We haven't written the books of Moses because there's no connection. There's no birth. We don't exist, only a story, and we're somewhere else. If we know anything at all, if we can hear, if we can feel, if we can think, then we're a heaven. Built into one. We take our heaven, our ass to bed. We take our heaven into the toilet. We open up our toilet. We are a heaven. We are the greatest universe, because without our existence in this universe, we cannot make any changes. We cannot make any thoughts for our own self. I wish I can explain exactly the way I see it. We have to go to double pi. Why did I go to double pi? Because I don't remember, but if I did go to double pi, it'd be 628, and 6 times 28, or 6 partial moons in the year, equals 168. 6 times 28, 168 days, and 168 days, 336 days, 3 of 6. Let me explain that. That would be volleyball, if I'm not mistaken. That would be volleyball. Can you see that? Is that the volleyball? Take a check what it looks like. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1. This corner and this corner. This corner and this corner. These is the 4. This is the 2. This is the 2. This is a 2. This is a 2. So 4. This is a 4. This is the 6. This is the 6. The same thing that's on this dice. The same thing. That's the 1 that's on this dice. This is the ball we play with. This is volleyball. Has a net in the center. Everybody plays in the sand. How is volleyball played? Let me understand the game a little bit more. Then there's something else I want to bring up. And the word INX and INX, Roman numeral, right? Well, why don't we just turn it this way and look at it a little different? This is 11. Axis. Or how about the axis? 6 is the axis. This, exceed. To exceed the axis. Hey man, if you want to play, or hey woman, if you want to play with the word and make it sound and sell me your information and I watch it and I like it, that's good. Whether I believe your information, whether you believe my information, my intuitive perception is just my reality, and I have to play with it. I have to tweak it. I come on here and I tweak it. See it and accept it as you like. Maybe one day it might be coming back the same or different way, and you'll see it different, and I'll see it different, and we'll see it different, and that's the evolution, because we don't know the answers yet. We don't know, and we've been looking for a long time for the answers. But as we work and we progress into the future,
we bump into differences. And in those differences, it changes yesterday's reality to yesterday's reality and perception to today's perception and reality, maybe changing the whole outlook of yesterday. But without yesterday, you can never bring yesterday into today, seeing and viewing a new perspective on everything. D and S, 19 and 4 equals to 15 the egg, or 23 creation of the egg. This is French. In English, it's T for 10. Okay, it's T for 10. Okay, we're not going to talk about Levi's 505 or next year's Super Bowl where they're playing. We're not going to talk about this size of 8, the split heaven, or this size. This and this both create, all we have to do is put Rodin's coil on this, a 3 or an E on each side, and they both create the Magen David. The Magen David 6 by 12, 6 by 12. Don't split these two triangles in half. If you took this triangle and moved it up over here, you'd have two mountains. Two mountains one way, and then the empty space would be the one mountain down. That's what they call the low V and the high V. The love is the difference in separation. When you fill up the gap or the separation, or fill this with water between this one, imagine there's another one over here, that gap to this gap will create your current energy, whatever you want to give it. 16 seats alive. 10, 9 for 9, and the 24th letter, okay, 9 and 24 is 33. 9 minus 24 is 15. 48 is the angel space. 4 times 8, 48, plus 8 equals 12, and 32 equals the entry of 44. 4 and 4. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4 and 4. BB. Same thing for 6. The same thing. 48 equals 96, plus 4 is 100, 119, 911, between 6 and 10, 16, or bring me my sweet 16, 1 and 6, 1 times 6 is 6 and 7, the soul and the light. Do we want to understand how the gears work at the bottom? Has anybody seen the Mayan calendar? This one will run this at the bottom. See the way it's cut off over here? Because it has the gear. This one, I don't remember exactly what it does. It pivots. Okay, maybe for the oceans, I don't know. Okay, but don't forget, when he puts his hand on the football, he puts the hand on a football in a certain area, pushing off on one side, while the other football at the other end is going to do something completely over here. This can be the bridge, the division, whatever you want to say. This is the way the Mayan Sanskrit seems to look like, or one part of it, because everything is in 1D. They didn't describe you all of it, they describe you parts of it. So this over here is also, if you look, okay, this is 5 at 4:30. And this one is let's say it's 6:30. So 4:30 over here is 90 minutes, plus 45 minutes is 135 minutes, and 135 minutes is 270 minutes. The 70 is very special. It's very special. 1.5 times 70 is 35. 70 is also 76. 76 and 38 is 114, the hand of Abraham. 70 creates the letter R. 70 creates the letter R. I can make it round like you usually see. 70. 5 times 14, the DNA. 70 AD. 70 AD. What happened in 70 AD? 70. 70. 10 times 7, 10 weeks. What else can we do with 70? It means nothing. That 10 weeks. 70 becomes 76. 76. 70 is the highway that runs in Kansas, and the 35 is the crisscross halfway, making 105 the hand of God, running from Kansas, St. Louis, all the way down to Texas. There's other things that I did do at 70. I'm not sure where they are. I'm going to try and get them up there. Another thing I wanted to show you is that when you put these two clocks together, the reality is it creates this formation. On each side is 45. Okay, plus the separation of 1 square for the space between. Okay, there's got to be a space between everything. So that would be actually 135 would be 145, 145 would actually be 290. Leaving you at 70 right over here. 360 degrees. That would be your separation. This is the Y. This can be the suction. The suction. Has anybody seen Man in His World 1967? Go look at the structure. Look at the structure for Man in His World. Okay, imagine. Imagine. Empty this out completely. Put strings in it. okay, and hold whatever you want in the middle. Do you think a satellite is flowing in space, or do you think they're flying up there and dropping fuel into these satellites so they can run? Or are they running off the sun, these satellites? Or are these satellites hung by the rafters high above the earth, 50, 60, 70,000 feet above the earth? The rafters. Don't fly too high. You might fly out of this world and not fly into the ozone layer, because the only way out, there's only a few portals to get out of this place. Okay? Otherwise, you don't get out. Satellites hung by the rafters. Stars, holes in the roof. That's all they are. Are they more? You can't tell me I'm wrong, because I don't know. I'm just telling you a story of what could be. 70. Again, 7D, but the letter D and T are exchanged to say the same thing. 7T equals 7 times T equals 140. At the same time, 7 times T, the 20th letter in Messer's work, equals 62. 7 by 62 is 420, plus 14 is 434, which equals the SS. 7D equals 28, the moon. 70, 7 times T, 20 is 140, plus 7 times D, 4 times 7 is 28, equals 168, the number of hours in the week. 168, 168. I didn't even get to do any of my videos that I wanted. There's a calculator missing. Okay, I got it over here. Okay, what was it again? 168, 168. 25, 9, 20 divided by 168. I want to see if that's possible. No, it's not possible. But anyways, Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Valentine's Day. Okay, 66 happy, 102 Valentines, 19 for the S, 30 for the day, 217, 217 plus 12. Okay, I made a mistake to add 12, but I will show you why 12. T gets 6, and day equals 30 gets 6. So that's your 12, 229. Okay, 229, the 22nd of the 9th month. Okay, September 22nd, September 9th. February is the 2nd month, February the 29th day. February the 29th day. 9 and 2 is 11. September 9, 9, 11. September 22nd. September 22nd is the 265th day of the year. 265. I got to mark that down. I don't want to put the second anymore. I want to change this before I go. This is 4, and this becomes 2. September 22nd, okay, equals to 4 and 9. This is Uranus, but this is actually Pluto connecting to Mars. Okay, Pluto connects to Mars here, but over here, February 29th is the leap year. This is the day that Christ links into this world, our birth. I don't know exactly what it is, but this day over here is 15 days after 14 days. This is the 60th day of the year. This seems to be the clock that runs in man's mind, because 9 is the birth of 2 worlds. Man 6. 6 for here and 6 for here. This one is 60. And this one is 6, is 66. They repeat. 66 and 66 is 132. 66 and 30 is 96, 106, 115, 117, 217. 217 plus 66 is 283. 283. 83 is the church. 28 is the moon. The church we follow, the moon is in our head. It's right here. It's right here. 70, something to do maybe over here or over here. How about this? 70, my nose, 70. The nose backwards says the E sun, the son of E. Okay? Whoever and however that E works. But let me tell you one thing. We may be born, but we run with the elements of the E. The E is prevalent in everything. Energy, electric, from where? Planet Earth. We carry that Earth with us wherever, whatever we go. Everything comes from the Earth. We stand on the Earth. We breathe in the Earth. We're on planet Earth, according to what they call it. So that's where we live. Raphael, 7286, in the constellation of Pegasus. Now I got to figure out what to do in my next video. No, I don't. I just have to get organized. I'm not happy with this video. Seems like I'm never happy with it. Forget it. You know what I'm really happy about? This thing did not shut down for the first time. I mean, that I did a 25-minute video. This thing didn't shut down. I want to see this shut down. I'll tell you one thing. This internet shuts down at everybody's house I've ever went to. Every time I do a Mr. Tackbands on YouTube Direct, it shuts down. This one did not. Thank you, Videotron, and thank myself for going ahead and making the big move. Thank you, Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus.